Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage, and here we are again today with Michelle, David, and Damien. In our last video, we talked about IELTS myths and misconceptions, and that video went so well. We got so many views. You can check it out on our YouTube channel here. I'll link it above as well. And what we did in that video was we asked you guys, do you have any questions for our IELTS experts? Because it's very rare for you to have access to um, an array of IELTS experts, IELTS examiners that can answer your questions. So in this video, we're going to take all those frequently asked questions and answer them for you. So the next question is, how can I improve my spelling? So there's a very simple way of doing this. Most people are worried about their spelling when it comes to writing, listening, or reading. And if you misspell a word, it's going to be wrong. It doesn't matter if even one letter is wrong. That question will be wrong. So it's really important that you get your spelling correct. And then in the writing test, it will affect your vocabulary score. So you might be producing great vocabulary. Your answer might be really good, but if you have multiple spelling mistakes in multiple answer or sentences, then that's going to drag your score down. So a good technique that has worked for many of our students is you're going to be practicing your writing anyway. You're probably going to be producing essays, doing task one reports, doing things like that. So turn off the spell check while you're writing. And then at the end, turn it back on and it will reveal all of the spelling mistakes. So that's step one. All right. So when you're writing, don't use spell check and do not use the one that converts the spelling automatically because that's not going to help you. Step two, open up a new document and give it a title like spelling mistake document or whatever you want to call it, and transfer all of those spelling mistakes, just the words with spelling mistakes into that document. So that's step two. Step three, try first to correct the spelling mistake without looking at it, because that's too easy. We want to make those connections in our brain from the misspelt word to the correct word. And the next step, step four, check the real spelling. All right. And then step five, repeat that and look for patterns, because often students there's common words that they will misspell or common types of words, like I before E and stuff like that. They'll put the E before the I in many words, like so. Common words like believe, I believe, they will often put the I and the E in the wrong order. So you will see lots and lots of patterns in your own spelling mistakes. And then again, that's ingraining it, making those links within your brain to help you spell words more effectively. Do you guys think that's a good technique, or would you add anything to that, or anything the students could work on?
Yeah, I think that's a great technique. And there's also, like, depending on what language you speak, you might have certain spelling problems. So I've had a lot of Arabic speaking students in the past who really struggle with vowels, just because, vowels are much looser in Arabic, but in English, they actually really matter a lot. So that's the first problem. But then also the sounds of the vowels are hard to hear. So, we have all these reduced vowel sounds. So it's just an sound, but unless you know the spelling, you can't sound it out. So there's no way to listen and then figure out how it should be spelled just by how the word sounds. So if you know that you have a problem with vowels, then that's the pattern that you see. That's what you need to concentrate on. And a technique that's worked for a lot of my students is the look, cover, write, check practice. So once you've gone through all the steps that Chris mentioned, you still need a way of, remembering that it's believe, I before E, right? You need to learn this. So basically you look at it and then you cover it and then you write it and then you check, right? To see if you've got it right. And then you can go through it again. So like, look at it, cover it, write it, and then check, and that can help you remember how the word is spelled.
Absolutely. Any other input, guys, on how to help with spelling?
I think you can create, so as you're talking about, create associations in your brain. So with spelling, yes, you're going to produce it when you're writing or writing answers for listening and reading, but also when you are reading text in IELTS, for example, or just in general English, you can if you've taken the steps that Chris talks about, and then you've realized you've got a problem with a certain type of spelling, we'll try to recognize them in a reading text. And the more you recognize it and just go, oh, okay, I can see that. Oh, okay. And it's just like turning on a part of your brain, which is now always going to recognize that structure. And then the more you recognize it, the better the chances you'll produce it more accurately.
Good. David, anything to add?
One thing that is quite important is, for many people, the actual shape of the word is important. So while you're practicing your spelling, whether using Chris's strategies there, some of the ones that Michelle mentioned, use your capital letters and your small letters accurately. So the spelling will improve once you get used to the shape of the words, where the high letters, the L's are, where the low letters, the Y, the J, where they are. So it's really important to use capital letters and small letters accurately when practicing spelling too.
Yeah, I think that would be good for visual learners. You know, some people will learn just word or letter order, whereas other people, it's more the shape of the word and the shape of the letters and things like that. So that's a really, really good point. So yeah, if you're having a problem with spelling, think about the type of learner that you are. You know, are you a very logical learner? You like mathematics and science, or are you more visual learner? Or do you need to hear a word more, or do you need to talk about it? That is really going to hack your learning if you understand the type of learner that you are. So good. Excellent. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any other questions that you need help with, there's two things you can do. Number one, you can go to our website, IELTSadvantage.com. You can also check out the rest of this YouTube channel. It's got hundreds of videos that'll help you with your IELTS preparation. Second thing you can do is send us an email. We answer 100% of the emails that come into us. Chris at IELTS Advantage is my email address. You can send me an email, and either me or one of the team will answer any IELTS questions that you have. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you have any other questions as well, feel free to put them in the comments below. We read all the comments, and we'll try our best to answer any of your IELTS questions. David, Damien, Michelle, thank you so much for your help. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.